I mean, coming into the game, I knew my role, so I just had to take advantage of the minimum reps I had.
And how has your transition kind of been? Obviously, you joined the team, a little later, and just how's Lubbock just kind of been to you? And what do you think you need to work on while you're here and still trying to see some playing time?
Uh, I mean, it's different coming from a four down to a three down, but football's football. And what I need to work on is technique mainly.
Go to Eric Kelly.
Hey man, so just when you come in kind of late like he did, and to be able to put yourself in a position where you're ready to play 2 games in, what did you have to do to get to this point where you knew the defense well enough, where you were in that type of shape to play?
I mean, being at home before I came, I worked out, um, and coach got with me on the plays, so I learned the plays. So it wasn't really hard going into the game. I knew what I needed to do going into the game.
Why do you think Texas Tech was the right place for you?
Um, I mean, it's Big 12 football, and it's still in Texas, so that's why I chose. And I had a great relationship with Coach Wells and Coach Randolph.
Is there a guy on the defense, maybe the defensive line specifically, who you kind of leaned on for help in terms of that transition to a new team?
I mean, Eli Howard. I mean, he's had success at Texas Tech on the D line, so and he plays defense end. So I asked him for, guidance through the way.
Go to Phil Mayer.
Hey Tyree, what other schools were you considering? Who else had reached out to you with offers when you transferred?
Uh, I mean, it was really, really, honestly, I was during the coronavirus. It's crazy getting recruited. At the beginning, I was leaning on going back to A&M. So I really wasn't, into all the schools. Schools hit me up, but me and Coach Randolph hit me up right when I got into the portal. So me and him had a relationship. So I found out, made a decision I wasn't gonna go back to A&M. So me and Coach Randolph started talking again, and that's what brought me here.
Okay, and then I'm curious, how does the defensive line room and just the locker room in general? What are the similarities and differences from like what the atmosphere is like here to what it was like at A&M?
I mean, D1 football is D1 football. It's just different people, different personalities, but uh, you build relationships and they become your brother. So it's really no difference.
Go to Don Williams.
Tyree, why did you decide to leave Texas A&M? I guess especially considering it was not all that far from your hometown.
Um, it was some issues with the training staff that I felt was best for me to leave and go play my ball somewhere else for the rest of my years and have a successful career.
What can you elaborate on what the issues were?
Um, it's personal reasons.
How much? I was looking back at your recruitment profile from high school, and you're listed at 235, and Tech lists you at 280 now.
Yes.
Is that about what you are? Are you
Yes. I'm 280.
280 or
I'm 280.
right at?
Yes.
How much have you, I guess, developed physically? Would you say in those last couple of years since you came out of high school?
Coming to high school, yes, I was light. I just had to bond to the nutrition process a lot and develop my body. And I'm still coming with Coach Scholes. He's really big into nutrition, so I see myself getting more lean and gaining more weight.
Go back to Eric Kelly.
Can you take us kind of through that first sack from your eyes, what you remember about it, and kind of how it felt? Obviously, maybe it would have been a little better with a packed house, but just kind of what you remember about it.
I mean, Um, I knew I told Coach Randolph in practice the first time we ran that stunt that it was going to be open. So I was already expecting it to be a sack because they can't switch off fast enough. And I mean that's not my first sack, so it's but it was a key point in the game.
And then obviously you talked about you have been working out, but obviously there's a difference between working out and getting in game shape. Where do you feel comfortable in terms of number of snaps in a game that you play? Are you fully 100% in the game shape where you want to be, or are you still a little bit of a ways off from that?
No, I'm not. I'm not in the game shape I want to be. Coming from SEC to Big 12 is a big. The difference. Main difference is tempo. So I have to get used to the tempo here, and me going through practice more and more will get me into game shape I want to be in.
All right, we'll go back to Don Williams to wrap us up.
Terry, yesterday, Coach Patterson, he said that he said that you had been here for a month, but he hadn't seen you for a month. So, how much practice have you actually been able to get in since you got here? I was wondering, maybe you have to quarantine for a while since you came from a different program.
Yes, I did have to quarantine. That's I don't count the practices how many practices I had. I did have limited practices since I've been here.
Yep. What do you feel like when you were in shape and kind of have the system down, all that stuff? What do you feel like your potential is?
I really don't know.
Do you see yourself as more of a pass rusher, or considering, like you said, you're 280 now, do you think you're more of a run stop guy, or how would you? What do you think your best assets are at this point?
I mean, I can rush the passer, but coming into the Big 12, playing a 3 down, you got to be able to stop the run and rush the passer when needed.
All right.
Do you have any favorite NFL guys, any NFL defensive linemen, or any NFL players, period, that are your
Coming from A&M, my idol is Myles Garrett, and I also look at Jadeveon Clowney, more speed kind of guys.
How much did you said that you had a good relationship with Coach Randolph and that he was a big attraction for you coming here.
Yes.
Before you heard from Texas Tech, how much did you know about Texas Tech, or how much attention had you paid to the program here when you were younger?
Honestly, I never saw myself coming to Texas Tech, coming out of high school. You know, I did talk to Texas Tech coming out of high school, but I never saw myself coming here. But me and Coach Wells, me and Coach Randolph had a great relationship, and being in college, you're not scared to go away from home, so I had to come where I could be successful.
What would you say your experience has been like here so far? What have you learned about Tech or Lubbock that maybe has surprised you that you would not have known about a couple of years ago when you didn't see yourself here?
I picture Lubbock as more of more country like. It opened my eyes a little bit. I fit in good here, and it's just normal to me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was part of the reason I chose Tech. I knew I was, at least going to have an opportunity to come in, contribute, and make plays. And I knew that this defense would be a good fit for me, and a defense and a scheme where I could use my abilities.
Can you take us through that block punt?
So the blocked punt, yeah, I was coming basically just off the left A gap, and I saw the left personal protector guy back there. He was overrunning it, so I knew if I, attacked that left side and shaved it tight, I would have a chance at getting the ball, and I got a mitt on it.
You all faced a running quarterback this past week, another running quarterback this week in Skylar Thompson. Just from what you've seen on tape and what you've experienced with Sam, where are they similar, where are they different, and how hard are those guys to bring down?
It's definitely going to be a challenge for us. We have to play great defense and be relentless. They're going to have some 12 personnel, 11 personnel, getting the tight ends involved like Texas did. So we got to be physical on the edge. And they've got good athletes on the perimeter as well. So, we're going to have to bring our A game.
Go to Don Williams.
Jacob, following up on when you were describing blocking the punt,
Yes,
you
sir.
said you noticed something with the personal protector. Was that something that you noticed in the moment on that play, or was that something that you had noticed on previous punts that you thought you could take advantage of?
The way that it happened wasn't exactly how we pictured it. Like, during the week, Coach Tomerdahl had me working a move where I attack one of those guys outside in and just give him a head fake, and it kind of just happened the opposite way from what I expected. But I just read it. I knew he was going to overrun me, and I got underneath him and was able to get a hand on it.
Yeah. And can you talk about how much your reputation when you came here was special teams guy from winning your award at Duke last year? How much fun did you have at special teams, and how much did you kind of crave at the opportunity for a bigger role?
Yeah, I mean, at Duke, I was obviously, the special teams guy, and that became my role, and I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't want more. When I signed that letter of intent, I had this vision of coming in and playing the position I was recruited for, but ultimately the defense changed, and what they were doing, they went to more of like a nickel look, so my position basically got eliminated. But I'm just happy to have a role here and be able to contribute.
Let's see, which position? I know it's generically outside linebacker, basically, but which position in the scheme is it?
So right now I'm a spur.
Spur.
Yes, sir.
How much did it? How much? I don't know what the word is, but what was it like being a guy from New York who played college football in North Carolina, taking a leap of faith to come to Texas to a program that I guess your only connection to was Coach Jones, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And not being able to visit here during the pandemic.
Yeah, obviously with coronavirus, it was a little bit of a leap of faith, and it was tough to make that decision. But I had faith in Coach Jones, and from my conversations with Coach Wells, I mean the entire staff, Coach Scholes, I knew I had a chance to develop and get better here.
Go back to Eric Kelly.
Is there a big difference in terms of playing in the ACC versus the Big 12? Well, obviously they're both Power 5, so they both have a lot of talent there. But Tyree had mentioned, even coming from the SEC to Big 12, there's that big tempo difference.
Oh, yeah.
Is that something that you've noticed through the first couple?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just like rapid fire, go, 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 foot on the gas. So you really have to just be ready for it.
We'll go back to Don.
For you guys,
Jacob, where'd you get your degree in at Duke?
So at Duke, I studied public policy as my major with a sociology minor and a certificate in markets and management.
So whenever football is over, whatever time that comes for you, what do you want to do? How do you want to?
I mean, that's still a question that I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I feel like I can do a lot of different things. I've spoken with friends that have done consulting, and they said that I would be great at it. One of my best friends and my roommate at Duke, we went through some cases together, so I could definitely see myself doing consulting, but I could also see myself doing a plethora of things in the business world, whether it's sales, marketing, advertising, things like that.
Do you have any particularly high GPA or anything like that you're proud of? Or?
I mean, at Duke, I had a 3.5 at Duke, so
Yeah.
it was not easy to maintain, but, I'm proud of that.
Yeah. So, and let's see, as a grad student, you have to be enrolled in, is it 9 hours or 12 hours?
I believe it's 9.
Yeah. So is it easier in that regard, or are you still trying to
Yeah, I think it's
challenge yourself more with bigger hours than you have to take?
it's definitely a little bit easier, more free time, and obviously with it being online, you don't have to go to class and meet in person. So that's a nice change up. Some of my classes are pretty difficult. I'm in a financial accounting class, so that's hitting me kind of hard, but I'm working through it.
Yeah. How would you say, now that you've been here for several weeks or a couple months or so, how would you say things are maybe like what you expected, and what has surprised you about either the program or the university, the city, your surroundings? How does it compare to kind of what you envisioned or expected?
I would say about the team, what kind of surprised me was just how cohesive the guys are. I mean, everybody's friends, everybody gets along. It's not real cliquey or anything like that. And I can't think of a single guy on the team that I can't have a conversation with and be buddy with. So I think that's pretty cool. In terms of Lubbock, I was surprised by how many great restaurants there are around the university, and still have some more exploring to do on that end. But hopefully in the off season I'll get a chance to see some more.
Yeah. Considering this team, Coach Wells has brought in a number of transfers, quite a few guys immediately having significant roles. How have you all kind of connected, and is there any of the other new guys or any of the guys in particular here that have kind of been especially helpful in your transition?
I think Kosai Eldridge has been pretty helpful for me developing. I mean, I've been moved all around since I've been here. I've been at Raider, Will linebacker, and now Spur, and he has a great understanding of the defense, so he's been able to coach me up out there when I have questions or just anything that I need. He's able to be there for me. Rico Jeffers as well. We watched some extra film the past 2 games on Thursday nights, try to make sure we're ready for the game. So those guys have been very helpful for me.